Good morning, my dear children. In this module, I am going to teach you about the rest of the banks which specialize in providing credit for the rural people. In our previous module, we have discussed about the regional rural banks. In this module, we are going to discuss about the two banks, the Cooperative Bank and the NABARD. Cooperative Bank, these institutions mainly accepts deposits and lend money to the members only. It follows all prudential rules and regulations. It provides financial means to the people to prevent them from debt trap of money lenders. So children, we have studied earlier about the formal sources as well as the informal sources of credit. So which are the formal sources? The formal sources are all banking institutions comes under the formal sources. And informal sources means the money lenders, the brokers, the agents, the commission agents, etc. So here we can see that the money lenders, they charge the high rate of interest for the loans given for the agricultural or any other rural activities. So in order to avoid this debt trap, these cooperative credit societies provide loans to their members at a low rate of interest. Thereby they can avoid this debt trap. And more than that, the money lenders, they do not maintain the accounts properly. So what happens? The rate of interest increases and it at last leads to debt trap also. Next, we'll discuss about the organizational structure of the banks. That is, the organizational structure means the cooperative banks are divided into urban cooperative banks and rural cooperative banks. Those cooperative banks which resides in the urban areas, we can call them as urban cooperative bank, and the cooperative bank which locates in the rural areas, we can call them as rural cooperative banks. And which are the other sub banks? That is, the rural cooperative banks we can divide again into short-term cooperatives and long-term cooperatives. So under short-term cooperatives, the three banks are there: state cooperative banks, district central cooperative banks, and the primary agricultural credit societies. So short-term cooperative means they provide loans for the short-term period. That is only for maybe last over a or 1 year or for 6 months. Next one is the long-term cooperative banks. Under this, they provide credit for the long-term periods, more than 1 year or 2 years. It lasts for sometimes 5 or 10 years. And under this, we can see SCARDs as well as PCARDBS, that is State Cooperative Agricultural and Rural Development Banks, and the second one is Primary Cooperative Agricultural and Rural Development Banks. These are the two sub banks of the rural cooperative banks. So these are the major divisions of the cooperative banks. And next we'll discuss about the facilities provided by the cooperative banks. They mainly finance the rural activities such as farming, cattle, milk, hatchery and personal loans. We know that there are agricultural as well as non-agricultural activities are there. So these cooperative credit societies are mainly meant to provide loans for all these rural activities. It comes agricultural as well as non-agricultural activities. So here we can see those who maintain the cattle farms as well as the poultry farms. For all them, these cooperative credit societies provides loans at the low rate of interest. And for the personal purposes also, they provide loans. Next, we can see the self-help groups. The self-help groups means these all groups you would have noticed near your residential areas. Kudumbashree. Have you heard of Kudumbashree? Yes. Kudumbashree as well as Ayalkootam, Mahila Samajam. These are all known as self-help groups. And these groups are mainly intended to promote the welfare of the women, to strengthen the economic as well as the financial conditions of the women. Thereby, the habit of savings will be developed, which leads to increases in the investment, which is the prerequisite factor for our economic development. And these Kudumbashrees may be registered or unregistered. And the borrowings are made without any collateral. That means they will provide credit for the needy person without any other securities. No need of keeping any other securities for getting loans for any other agricultural or non-agricultural purposes. So these are the self-help groups mainly intended to promote the welfare as well as the well-being of the women. Next, we will discuss about the third bank which promotes or which provides credit for the farmers or the rural people. The NABARD is an apex development bank in India. A committee started by the RBI under the chairmanship of Shri B. Shivaraman conceived and recommended the establishment of NABARD. It was established on 12 July 1982 by a special act by the Parliament, and its main focus was to uplift the rural India by increasing the credit flow for elevation of agriculture and rural non-farm sector. And the share holded by the government of India is 99%. That is, the stake held by the government of India in this bank is 99%. And the initial capital of this bank was 100 crores, and gradually it increases and it reaches on 31st March 2014 as 4,700 crores. So the initial capital was only 100 rupees. Gradually, with the functioning of all these banks, that much it has helped the farmers, and it rotates among the people and circulates the money flow increases, and at last the capital has increased to 4,700 crores. So my dear children, this is regarding the cooperative banks as well as the NABARD. And these two banks are mainly intended to, as well as in our previous module we have discussed about the regional rural banks. So these three banks enhances the functioning of the agricultural activities as well as the non-agricultural activities, and it helps the rural people also. So the contribution of the GDP by the rural sector are also gradually increased with the rapid expansion of all these banking sector among the residential as well as the rural areas. So my dear children, I hope this session is clear for you. Thank you children for watching this video.